You are now tuned into Flippin' the Birds, a Philly Sports Network podcast.
What's going on, Eagles fans? Welcome all to episode 40 of Flippin'.
41.
41, yes. Okay.
40 was our special episode.
Yeah, I'm always messing up the numbers.
You're messing up a lot of things, but we're not going to get into that right now.
Quarantine season, that's what it is. Look, like, I don't know what day it is, honestly, but I'm Brian Cameron.
Tuesday. You know what day it is because we always record on Tuesdays, stupid.
It's Flippin' the Bird Tuesdays. What an intro. What's going on, man? How you feeling, bro? I feel like I haven't talked to you actually, I
texted you this morning.
I know, but it's different. Like,
hey, you feel like you haven't seen me in a week, like we do every week for a podcast?
I was going to say that, but I feel like you would have a smart remark to that, and you still had a smart remark towards it, no matter what.
No matter what, I'm quick. I'm quick with
First, before we get into anything, shout out to everybody who's rated us on Apple Podcasts, who's even commented on YouTube. We greatly appreciate all the great comments that you guys have left us, all the great feedback.
No one star. Still have that one lone 1 star that we still need to figure out.
It hasn't been related to the 1 thumbs down that we get on YouTube. So where we are, let us know. Like
that, people have been giving us the love, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
We already know we're in this, downtime, really downtime. But at least things are gonna start opening up. Murphy today announced, and if everybody that doesn't know, who has been not listening to us for the past 40 episodes, we're both in New Jersey.
41 episodes.
41. Well, this is the 41st episode. So who hasn't been listening to us for? See, you try and correct me, and it doesn't work. I know a lot of our listeners are South Jersey, Philly area. Murphy today lifted the stay-at-home orders, so hopefully you can start, getting out and having a life.
Yeah, but still be careful out there, guys, because COVID is still out there.
Yeah, and we're slowly approaching our 1-year mark. July 22nd of 2019 was our first episode.
Can you believe it's already been a year? I feel like it's been longer.
Oh, talking to you, I feel like it's been longer.
Texting you feels like it's been longer.
Yeah. Oh, it's because I don't text back.
I know that I'll text him, and he won't answer me until like 8 hours later. But he'll be on Twitter. He will be on Twitter actively, tweeting out millions of things.
and then Brian sends me question marks, like a psycho ex-girlfriend. Like, why aren't you texting me back?
I like to have conversations. I like, to converse, like, consistently. Ooh, what's in your drink tonight?
George Dickey. It's Dickel, not Dickey. Dickel. It's whiskey. I'm trying to cut down on beer.
So I did not drink beer tonight because I feel like I didn't want to leave you out of drinking because you say you were not drinking.
Oh, I got my workarounds.
I see.
I had a margarita. I had 2 margaritas before this.
You see how you did me? I had a very long day tonight. I could have definitely had the beer. But you know what? I'll enjoy my beer later with my wife, so it's okay.
All right. It is what it is. And tomorrow, my wife and we're going to go visit my parents, and there's a nice little beer place around there that's finally opened up today for their outside. So we're going to go over there.
Your parents still live in the Bronx?
No, they live in Rockland County.
Okay.
Yeah. Those of people who are listening who are familiar with Rockland County, this place is called Growler and Gill. It is run by my former biology teacher in high school.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I know people there, and it's a great place. It was voted Hudson Valley's like #1 craft beer place, Lower Hudson Valley, and it's really a great place. And they just opened up their outside, so I'm gonna head over there tomorrow and have a life, and chill a little bit and have a beer or 2 or 3.
Sounds like a good idea, man.
Yeah, another good idea is maybe staying on topic.
I was actually going to say that, but you took it from me.
We are an Eagles podcast, right? No one wants to hear about our personal life. No one gives a shit about us.
So another good idea is an idea that you actually brought to me this morning. I guess you want to explain a little bit more about what we're going to be doing for this week's episode.
Yeah, so leading up to the rookie debuts. Hold on, my wife is here.
Bree's weekly spotlight.
Her weekly spotlight. She's that noise in the background is her opening the door.
And the weekly advertisement of the door lock.
She's going to be bringing chairs into the house now. This is just great. What a great start to the podcast. So anyways, leading up to the rookie numbers, like people were like, give us the numbers. Mm-hmm. And people were like so obsessed with numbers, all the numbers, like people, and like I get it, like people were like, like when Kayvon Wallace came out and said, I'm wearing 42, people were like, well, why are you wearing 42 with, they should give you 27, they should give you Malcolm's. See, the lock on my door just happened again. See? I tell her, open the door and just lock it manually so it doesn't do it on its own. Anyways, people are saying, Kayvon to do 27, to go into 30s, and he's 42. So people are like, but what my saying is, not many people have worn 42 that have been good. So he might be the best 42 ever in Eagles history already. Before him is Sendejo.
But before Sendejo was
Marigos, and then we got Kirk Coleman. But still, So I was like, you know what? How about we look at whoever's on the roster right now and see if they are the best to wear that number in Eagles history. So today we're going to do offense. And then, if we blow past this, maybe we'll do defense too. But there's a lot of people on offense, so
yeah,
probably because this first one here, this is going to be a little bit of a debate. Not for the person who's wearing it, because the one who's wearing it right now, we're going to go in numerical order. The person wearing it right now there's no way he's even close to being the best to wear this number. And that is Nate Sudfeld. Nate Sudfeld wears number 7.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely not the best to wear it.
And the past.
Dan Bradford's the best one. Yeah, no. I did not mean that at all. I know Jaws' word. I do not mean that at all. Let's clarify that.
We got Sam Bradford before him. Before him, who?
Michael Vick.
Before him?
Michael Vick wearing that.
Before him?
Was it Jaws?
No, all the way in the 80s, no one's wore 7 since.
Maybe nobody wore like the number 25.
Jeff Garcia.
Oh, yes. Garcia did wear 7.
Before that, Sean Landetta. Before that, Bobby Hoying. Before that, Ken O'Brien. Before that, Roger Ruzick. And before that, Ron Jaworski. And we're not going to go back before that. So who, this is rough, It's a little
rough when you throw Vic in the mix. And then Jeff Garcia had a nice run in
Yeah, but Jeff Garcia is probably the greatest all-time backups. Like, he was the legit backup for the Eagles.
No. Can't say greatest all-time backups when Nick Foles was a backup.
I mean, okay. One of the. You put Jeff Garcia in there, he was legit. He was slinging that everywhere.
By the way, shout out to Michael Bennett. Nick Foles is not better than Carson Wentz. Let's put that.
Oh yeah, hey Bennett. A few weeks ago, there was something on Twitter like, who's your favorite player that played for your team that only spent one season with the team?
Was Bennett yours?
Bennett was mine because he only spent one season. He had 9 sacks.
He was a monster. Yes, he was.
And now I take that back. How are you gonna say Nick Foles is better than Carson Wentz? Come on.
I think he did it just to push Chris.
Come on. I take that back. I don't even know what my answer is anymore. I don't even care. Maybe Jordan Howard. And he spent not even a year. He spent 5 games. All right, not 5 games. I get it. Okay, whatever. But all right. So who's your best number 7?
So forgive me for saying this, but my best 7 is going to be Michael Vick because I experienced Michael Vick. I experienced the Eagles trading away Donovan McNabb to the Washington Redskins and seeing Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson light up the Redskins on Monday Night Football.
Oh, my God. I'm telling you, I remember I was at the bar. It was in college. I was at the bar with my best friend who's a hardcore Redskins fan. So every year, every start of the season, I have to hear Redskins are coming, blah, 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 Redskins are coming. Every fucking year. So we're at the bar. And that was the game that LaRon Landry was talking so much shit leading up to that game, and then Deshaun Jackson goes boom, right past
Oh,
Ron Landry. He was gone, and that was the start of a slaughter.
bro, that was
And
like a
my
match.
buddy,
It was phenomenal.
it was, oh God. But so Vic, he had 5 years with the Eagles. He played in 12 games his first year, but he started one. He went 6 for 13 for 86 yards. And his first year he rushed for 695 yards. Sorry, not 600, 90, just 95 yards his first year. But then he went to the playoffs twice with the Eagles. He went 0-1. In his first year with the Eagles, he played, but he only attempted 2 passes. His second year, he started a game and he lost. In his 5 years, he had 9,984 passing yards, 57 touchdowns, 33 interceptions, and with the Eagles, he rushed for 1,998 yards and 15 touchdowns. He was averaging 37 yards a game rushing with the Eagles. Only 37, which is mind-boggling because you'd think he'd average more. And he averaged a career high 184.9 passing yards a game. With the Falcons, he only averaged 155.5. But Jaws, he was the franchise leader for a long time.
Yeah, it's just I didn't get to experience Jaws, so I can't you know what I'm trying to say.
I didn't either. His last year in the league was when I was born.
I'm so mad you're enjoying that drink, and I did not get a drink for today.
What drink? This one?
Yo.
But like just looking at history, I love Vic. I love him. I have, and now my dog is crying because my wife is outside. I hope you guys are. I hope you guys don't downvote our podcast because my family.
I doubt that. They downvoted us because of you.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm going with Jaws. Jaws, he was the Eagles quarterback.
Okay, I completely respect that. You're not
I'm
gonna
going
go
with Vic.
You don't want to switch?
What?
You don't want to go with Sammy Sleeves?
No. My name's not Liam. Sorry, Liam. All right, so next, this is going to be an easy one. Number 8. Do you know who's wearing number 8 for the Eagles right now?
Who's wearing number 8 for the Eagles right now?
Correct. Kyle Oletta. Correct. Good job. So before that, so we got
Donnie Jones?
the Iron Leg Donnie Jones.
Okay.
Chas Henry, another punter. Dirk Johnson. We have
technically the number 8 was supposed to be reserved for Marcus Mariota back when Kelly was here.
Yeah. Well, technically, yeah, we're not talking about that. Bobby Holt. No, I'm looking at 7. Preston Jones, Brad Gobel, Luis Zendejas, Paul McFadden, Al Coleman, Davey O'Brien, and last but not least, Chuck Hygic. Has to be Iron Boot. Donnie Jones.
Isn't his nickname Donnie Bag of Bones? Is the Jones?
Donnie Jones. He's I mean the fact that he wore a do-rag during the Super Bowl, that's it.
He's a legend.
That's it. He was probably one of the best punters in Eagles history, if not the best punter in Eagles history.
Didn't he retire and then just come back saying
he went to the Chargers and then he was done, yeah. All right, so next up, number 10.
Oh. You skipped a number.
No, I didn't.
You definitely did.
No, I didn't.
You skipped the number 9.
There's no one wearing number 9 right now on the Eagles. I'm saying right now, whoever's on the roster right now, there is no one wearing number 9 on the Eagles.
Touche. Let's go 10.
Maybe rewind a little bit and hear when I said whoever's on the roster right now.
You're on a roll today, buddy. How's that no carbs diet?
Oh, I hate it.
I could tell.
I hate it. I hate it so much. So number 10. Cool. We have, we know who.
We know who.
Deshaun Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do we have to go through everything else? Because there's,
I mean,
before him was Matt Collins.
and before him was what, Vince Young or something like that?
No, Chase Daniel.
Okay, before him.
Jonathan Krause. Before him, Deshaun Jackson.
Vince Young were number 9 with us.
Yes. Before Deshaun Jackson's rookie year, Coy Detmer.
It's D Jackson.
Yeah, it's D Jackson. It's not even close.
Yeah.
All right, so here's this one. Here's another one. Number 11.
Okay, let's hear this on out. Let's see what you got to say.
So we have our franchise quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Okay.
We have Josh Huff.
I actually did like Josh Huff.
He got all the talent in the world, but he's a knucklehead,
Idiot.
to put it lightly.
Huh?
Trent Edwards.
You laugh like that. Did you just giggle on the podcast?
Trent Edwards. Like we went through such a terrible time of quarterbacks. We went through a really bad time of quarterbacks. It's unbelievable. Jeremy Bloom, which I completely forgot we had him on the team. I really like Jeremy Bloom.
But not more than Carson Wentz, of course.
No, of course not. But I thought he was gonna be good, and he wasn't. We got Jeff Blake. Tim Hasselbeck was a part of the Eagles, if you did not know that.
I remember this for a reason. I think it was the Eagles and Seahawks game. Was that Matt Hasselbeck? No, that was.
He was undrafted. He was undrafted. He signed with the Eagles. Tim Hasselbeck.
Yes, okay. Matt was it the Packers, and then something like that.
And then he became a hack job of an ESPN coordinator, commentator. We got Ron Powlus, Jay Fiedler, Mark Ripien, Matt Barr, Casey Weldon. Let's go all the way back to Mr. Norm Van Brocklin. Spent 3 years with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
He's most notably known for his records with the Rams. He spent 3 years with the Eagles. He won 19-16-1, 7,497 yards, but it's Wentz.
Yeah, Wentz is QB1 all the way.
Wentz is the best number 11 in Eagles history. All right. Now we got number 13. Who's wearing number 13 right now?
Marquise Goodwin.
That's right. Not many names, but very, very interesting names.
Then you have Aguilar, Huff.
Yep. Damaris Johnson, Rick Engels, Chuck Hughes, Joe Hogue, Glenn Barnum, Dave Smuckler, and George Keneally. I mean, technically, right now, we have to give it to Aguilar.
Technically.
But
we're not a technical podcast.
But
it's Aguilar.
It's Goodwin. Next, Robert Davis is number 14. I mean, whoever else wore number 14 in Eagles history is probably better than him. So we have this is going to be interesting. We have Mike Wallace, who never played a game.
I know you.
Marcus Johnson, who was sent to the Seahawks for Bennett. We have racist Riley Cooper. AJ Feely, who was another great backup quarterback.
You're going to another backup quarterback right now.
Dougie P.
Can we just say Dougie P because he's the coach? Like, is that fair?
Dougie P. The thing is, Doug Peterson, in his time with the Eagles, he played 1 year.
It's still Dougie P.
He went 2-7, 7 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. And then AJ Feely, he was another really great backup quarterback. He had 2 different stints with the Eagles. 2001, he played in one game. 10 for 14 for 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And then 2002, he played in 5 games, 4-1, 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 2006, he played 2 games, 26 for 38, 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. 2007, he started 2 games. He went 0-2, 59 for 103, 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So his Eagles career, he started 7 games, 4-3, 2,177 yards, 16 touchdowns, 14 interceptions.
So you're saying Robert Davis is the best word? I mean, I'm saying, like, is it just automatically like given to Doug Peterson because he's the coach now, or?
No, I'm giving it to AJ Fiore.
Oh, guys, didn't know because you sound like you're on the fence.
Number 16. Number 16. Who's number 16?
Nobody's number 16. Oh no, the kid that we picked up from the Jets. Damn it, what's his name? The wide receiver, bro.
Good job, Deontay Burnett.
Yes, I didn't want to say the wrong name.
Before him, who was it?
Mac Attack House.
That's right. Then we got DeAndre Carter, fan favorite. DeAndre Carter.
My God, I cannot believe he did not. Like the Eagles, let him go, girl.
Before that, Bryce Treggs. Before that, Seyi Aziro Tutu.
Who was like the most super hyped wide receiver of all time that never touched the field with us.
Then you got Brad Smith. I really liked Brad Smith when he was on the team.
I liked him when he was a Jet.
Yeah, he was Greg Ward before Greg Ward came around. Chad Hall, Justin Jenkins, Gary Scott, Jeff Kemp, Rob Hertel, Horst Moman, Norman Snead, Elmer Kohlberg, John Kurgo, James Zentel, Harry O'Boyle, and Sylvester Davis. It's another interesting one. But I mean, Norman Snead, he was the Eagles quarterback for 7 years. However, he went 28 wins with 50 losses. 15,672 yards, 111 touchdowns, 124 interceptions. So, like, quantity of years doesn't really mean quality of a number.
Yeah.
But then you look at the other people in the list. I'm giving it to Brad Smith. I really like Brad Smith.
I was going to give it to DeAndre Carter because he actually made a difference in the return game. I was a big fan of his. Did Brad Smith really do anything with us? Like, think about it.
He did stuff.
Yeah, so did DeAndre Carter.
He did stuff.
I do stuff on a daily basis.
You don't do shit.
You don't do nothing.
I mean, you look at Brad Smith, he really didn't do anything. I'm just saying. But with the Eagles, I mean.
You like Brad Smith? Yeah, that's what it is.
DeAndre Carter, he played 7 games with the Eagles.
And then they cut him.
And then they cut him, right.
And now he's in Houston. He has a full-time job.
He had 2 receptions for 21 yards.
But the return game was there.
The return game, he had 10 punt returns for 103 yards. He had 10 kick return yards for 204 yards. So where's the difference?
Listen, man, I'm going.
He did have a punt. He did have a punt return of 42 yards, and he also had a kick return of 30 yards. Okay, all right, DeAndre Carter, congratulations! You're the best You're best 16 in Eagles history. Number 17. We have
Howard Carmichael.
It's Howard Carmichael. We're not even going to talk about Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, and Aurelius Ben. It's Howard Carmichael. It's not even close. Now, interesting. JJ Arcega-Whiteside, number 19. Who's before him?
Miles Austin were with us, right?
Miles Austin was, yes. But who was before JJ?
No, Paul Turner was 80. 19. I don't know.
Mid-season acquisition.
Golden State.
Golden Tate. Mr. Can't work him into the offense.
Still don't know. Like, well, you know what pissed me off about the Golden State situation? When they got to the playoffs, I forgot what channel it was. It could have been ESPN or ABC. The documentary was with Alshon, Golden Tate, Nelson Aguilar, making them seem like this big old trio of great wide receivers that the Eagles have. But they're on the field and they can't do nothing together.
I guess they didn't grow together. If you see what I mean. Anyways, before that, fan favorite Paul Turner, Miles Austin, Greg Salas, Marty Gilliard, Brandon Gibson, Michael Gasperson, Carl Ford, Sean Morey, Troy Smith, Guido Merkins, Tom Dempsey, Dan Barry, Harold Pegg, George Somers, Tom Burnett, Fritz Ferkel, there's a lot of 19s, Herman Bassman, Jim Leonard, Oren Pappy, and Roger Kirkman.
I'm going with JJ just because of his potential. And I'm praying on a dream right now that JJ shows up this season.
This is tough for me.
I mean, because you really
Paul Turner only spent 1 year. And he had 9 receptions for 126 yards. And JJ has also spent 1 year. And what did he do? 10 receptions for 169 yards. So technically, Paul Turner did more than what JJ did.
But JJ was injured, though. Come on.
And then you look at Golden Tate, who went to the Giants because he wanted to win. Let's not forget that.
Look at the Giants for that damn money.
With the Eagles, he had 30 receptions for 278 yards.
I love the idea of Golden Tate. I hated the fact that the Eagles ruined him.
Golden Tate, congratulations. You're the best 19 in Eagles history.
I guess.
So next, let's find it. Number 26.
You know what I'm going to say.
Miles Sanders.
That's the end of the sentence right there.
Before him was Jay Jai. Jay Jai had a great run.
Miles Sanders is great.
Jaden Watkins. You got Walter Thurmond. Carey. Mr. Number 1 cornerback Williams. Jaquan Jarrett. Mike Bell. Sean Jones. Lito Shepard.
No. You can't disrespect it.
It has to be Lito right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't.
That's why I was hoping you wouldn't jump the gun.
I jumped the gun. I completely fried.
Lito was elite. 7 years with the Eagles, 18 interceptions with the Eagles. 18. 3 touchdowns, 3 forced fumbles, 2 sacks. But he was
great.
Him and Sheldon Brown locked it down.
They were great.
So Lito, that's number 26 in Eagles history. Sorry, Miles. So sorry.
Yeah.
Number 30.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Who's wearing number 30 right now?
Corey Clement.
Yep.
Luckily,
before him,
again.
before him, Ed Reynolds. Before him, Colt Anderson. Jeff Pope. J.R. Reed, Brian Mitchell, Charlie Garner, Otis Smith, Chris Johnson, Don Calhoun, Cleveland Franklin, Mike Hogan, Ron Liu, Joe Lavender, Jim Ray, Alvin Haymond, Theron Sapp, Bosh Pritchard, Milton Smith. Did a lot of 30s.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
I'm going with Corey Clement. He's Super Bowl hero.
Yeah, 100 yards in the Super Bowl, undrafted rookie, free agent. Doesn't get any better than that. And he's from Jersey.
That's right. Even though he's South Jersey.
Yeah, well, you know.
They're a whole different country down there.
They really are. Let's not get into that.
This next person has not seen the field for the Eagles yet, but he is on the roster, so we still have to do it. Number 33. Who is it?
So it's Elijah Holyfield right now. Before him was Josh Adams.
Yep.
Who's before Josh Adams?
Dexter McDougal. Ron Brooks.
Oh, Ron, man.
He just had an interview.
He was on
with whoever, yeah. Chris Brzezinski, Jordan Poyer, who sucked with the Eagles and went on to be a legit safety with the Bills.
Mhm.
Jerome Harrison, who was a great, like, when the Eagles traded for Jerome Harrison from the Browns, he was like what Sproles was before Sproles came over. Was supposed to be, really. He was a little doodle back.
Swiss Army knife.
And then Sproles came in. I mean, he only spent a half a season with the Eagles, but when he came over, he was supposed to do everything.
A lot of Eagles trades are supposed to do something.
He was supposed to do everything because in 2009, Jerome Harrison with the Browns, he rushed for 194 yards. He rushed 194 times for 862 yards and 5 touchdowns, and he caught 34 balls for 220 yards, over 1,000 yards from scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
And then next year in Cleveland, he only plays 4 games before getting traded, 91 yards, averaging 22.8 yards per game, and only caught 4 passes, 42 yards. So then he gets traded to the Eagles, and I'm ecstatic because I'm like, okay, look at what he did last year. And he plays in 8 games and rushed 40 times for 290 yards. He averages 6 yards a carry. But he only averages 29.9 yards per game. And he only caught 8 passes for 43 yards in 8 games. He was supposed to be Darren Sproles before Darren Sproles, but it just never happened. 33, Jerome Harrison, Jack Ikuwagu, I don't know, Donald Strickland, Clinton Hart, Terrence Carroll. It's rough. It's rough.
I don't want to say Josh Adams, but
I'm gonna put a NA next to
Yeah,
it.
can we do that, please? Yeah, okay.
NA 33. All right, so number 35 now. Who's number 35 right now?
So Boston Scott.
Yep.
Before him was LeGarrette Blunt for like just for the off season.
We're talking about regular season here.
Okay. So like
Trey Elston, Tara Watson, Denzel Rice, Trevor Lindley, Macho Harris. What a draft that was. Nick Graham, Bruce Perry, Chris Warren, Edwin Watson, Anthony Marshall, Donte Brown, Kevin Bowie, Mark Koneski, Koned, whatever, Mike Coleman. I'm usually good with last names because I'm a teacher and I get last names that are really terrible.
butchering these guys.
Perry Harrington, Mike Hogan, Adrian Young, Ray Pogue, Ted Dean, Pete Pios, Dick Bassie, Drew Ellis, Forrest McPherson, Rich Smith, Tex Leyendecker.
And Boston Scott was, phenomenal last
Boston Scott, you're the best 35 in English history.
He's a giant killer. Smallest man on the field is a giant killer.
All right, so now we are next on the offensive line for a little bit. Number 62.
Do we really go down this list?
You don't think Max Gene Gills was better than Jason Kelsey?
And Jason Kelsey's a friend, more than just a friend.
You don't think Dennis McKnight or Mr. Baldy, Brian Baldinger, Baldy's breakdowns?
I'm going with Jason Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey is. It's not.
The man with the most epic speech in Philadelphia history.
So the next one is number 64, and that's for Keegan Render.
Right now?
Yes. And, he's not the best 64. But you're looking at these lists. Matt Tobin, he was good. He's kind of good. Jake Scott, Jeff Owens, Antonio Dixon. I really like Dixon on the defensive line. Chris Patrick, Stephen Rogers, Sean Love, Joe Ruda. It's rough.
Can we just do NA on
NA. All right, so next. 65. So we have some guy named Lane Johnson.
Of course.
King Dunlap. Keontae Marshall. Okay, Lane Johnson. All right. That's not even waste time. All right, number 67, Nate Herbig. Before him, Chance Warmack. Before him, Dennis Kelly, who was traded for
Beckham.
Yeah. But before him, the center before Jason Kelsey, Jamal Jackson.
Mm.
Jamal Jackson was really good.
Mm-hmm.
He was the Eagles center for his whole career. His whole career was only 7 years, but he a little bit injury concerned. He played 16 games, 4 times, 15 games once, and then his rookie year 8 games, and then second to last year was 1. But he was really good. He was really good.
So I guess we're going with Jamal Jackson.
Yeah, I'm looking at the other names. Yeah, nope. Next, Jordan Mailata, number 68. Before him, Josh Andrews, Matt Tennant, Steve Vallos, Kyle Devan, Austin Howard, Dan Klecko, Pat McCoy. Let me see if any other names of note. And no, these people, they're the people that just really just woof.
So I guess that's another.
That's just an A on that one also.
Yeah.
All right, Matt Pryor, number 69. Nice. Today's 6'9", if you didn't know. This is a tough one for me because I forget Matt Pryor, forget Dylan Gordon, who was before that. The two people before them that wore this number, Evan Mathis and John Runyon.
Oh man,
this is tough.
Can we just call it a tie? Is that possible? Is that allowed?
No, we're not doing that. No, I don't like ties. And I'm sure Evan Mathis wouldn't like a tie either. Evan Mathis only spent 4 years with the Eagles, but they were elite years. He had 1 All-Pro, two Pro Bowls. He was elite for the Eagles in a short time. But then you go to John Runyon. He spends 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years with the Eagles. Ages 27 to 35. One Pro Bowl. No All Pros. But he started every single game for the Eagles when he played with them.
He only went to 1 Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
No All Pros?
No.
Wow.
This is rough. Do we go for like, I don't know, because John Runyon was really good for the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then you look at Evan Mathis, and he was like even Pro Football Focus, I believe, made him the left guard for the Eagles decade.
Okay, so here's a question. Oh damn. Who's not replaceable? Who was not replaceable in their prime with the Eagles?
I mean, John Runyon played every single game for the Eagles. So, it's so you can't really say who is replaceable, but you look at John Runyon, he had 144 consecutive regular season starts, which is the longest ever by an Eagles offensive lineman. Longest ever.
That's wild.
They made the playoffs 7 times. He was a right tackle. So before Lane Johnson. And I'm looking at this is Reuben Frank's piece, the top 10 Eagles offensive linemen of all time. And he put John Runyon 7th, and he put Evan Mathis 9. Mathis had bounced around the NFL for 6 years and was never a full-time starter, but as soon as he got here in 2011, he blossomed into one of the NFL's best guards. He made his first 2 career Pro Bowls at 32 and 33. He and Sean Andrews remain the only Eagles guards ever named first-team All-Pro.
Wow.
So these are rough.
I'm going to go with Runyon.
I'm going to go with Evan Mathis.
Figured that was going to happen.
That's good. Yeah, he's good. So is Runyon, but I like it.
Debate it in the comments on YouTube or in the comments on Apple, whatever you guys want, or even tweet us.
And I hope these names I'm bringing up are also bringing up nightmares for some of you. I'm reading some of these names, and I'm sure you're like, oh, we had that guy. Number 72, Prince Tego Wanogu. He's 72. But I don't think there's a debate on who's the best 72 in Eagles history is.
Nope.
Who is it?
Vitae. No, I'm joking.
Who is it? Who is it?
It's Vitae, bro.
Who is it?
Well, let me fix my position right now.
You don't even know.
I do know.
Who is it?
I got him on the podcast.
Okay, what's his name?
Go ahead, say it.
We're gonna have an awkward silence for these listeners, and
Why are we having awkward silence?
because I asked you a question and you're refusing to answer it.
No, because your job right now is to produce the knowledge and run down the.
I asked you a fucking question and you're not gonna answer it.
Why are you cursing? Listen, man. Number 72 is number one in our hearts because he's very near and dear to Eagles fans everywhere. Trey Thomas is.
That's all you have to say.
I know, but I gotta pull your leg a little bit.
You're gonna have to make an essay.
I gotta pull your leg a little bit.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
fun if I, just create the.
All right, next, number 73, Isaac Seumalo. Before him was Wade Smith, Joe Kruger, Julian Vandervelde, who was also on Connor Miles' podcast the other day.
Oh, cool.
Sean Andrews, Mr. All-Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Doggins. Yeah, let's go. I'm going Sean Andrews. Sean Andrews was really, he was such a good lineman.
But not to knock Seumalo because he's actually been pretty good.
Seumalo's good, but he's not Sean Andrews.
No, absolutely
not. Next, Casey Tucker, number 76. These numbers are going to have some really bad people on them. Albert Huggins, Alan Barbary, Philip Hunt. Philip Hunt was supposed to be so good. Reggie Wells, Stacey Andrews.
Wasn't Barbary pretty decent for some time?
Who?
Alan Barbary?
Alan Barbary was decent, but he was decent.
Okay.
Philip Hunt was supposed to be so good, and he just wasn't. He spent 2 years with the Eagles and combined 16 tackles as a defensive end. Anyways, yeah, that's not really any 76s of note. So let's just NA. Okay.
Sounds good.
Next, double sevens.
I was waiting for this one.
Andre Dillard.
I'm going to be bitter.
There's a lot of 77s in Eagles history.
Go ahead. Go to before Andre Dillard.
Who was before Andre Dillard?
Michael Bennett.
Yeah. Before him was Taylor Hart.
I remember Taylor.
Before him, Barrett Jones, Kevin Graff, Damian Square, Demetrius Bell, Mike McGlynn, LaJuan Ramsey, Artis Hicks, Lonnie Paleli, Richard Cooper, Howard Smothers, Keith Millard, Anton Davis, Donald Evans, Michael Black, Tom Gillespie, Rufus Mays, Don Ratliff, Jerry Patton, Jerry Philbin, Ernie Callaway, Ray Rissmiller, Ray Mansfield, John Capelli, Don Oates, Jim Weatherall, Gus Felly, Jim Kikuris, Jim Ebner, Carl Fagioli, Tex Williams, Bernie Kaplan, Phil Ragazzo.
You're really butchering these last names today.
Cheers. This is rough. Because Andre Dillard does not deserve it. Has to be Michael Bennett.
We go Michael Bennett. Just go with it. Can't deny facts or, I'm saying Nick Foles is better, which Nick Foles is not better in question.
78. That's Sua Opeta. Sua Opeta. Before him, Finucci Tupou.
I'm done with these names.
Victor Apamiri. Broderick Bunkley. He was a really good defensive tackle. And before him, Hollis Thomas. Another really good player for the Eagles.
So who are you going with?
Hollis Thomas spent 9 years with the Eagles. Defensive tackle, 384 tackles in 9 years. His career high with the Eagles, 60. 4 sacks. His career high sacks is 5.
The season.
In the season, yes. But then you look at Project Bunkley. He was also very good. Project Bunkley spent 5 years with the Eagles, 145 tackles, 6 sacks, but he's more of like a run stuffer. It has to be Hollis Thomas for me.
I'll go with it.
You're just copying me at this point.
No, I'm just, I'm going with the player that you feel most passionate about if my memory doesn't serve me that far back.
Anyways, this is going to be another interesting one. So we got 79.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Brooks.
Okay.
Before him, Tanner Hawkinson. But before him, Todd Hermans. Todd Hermans, just to recap, he spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years with the Eagles.
Oh, Lord.
He only played 16 games 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. He only started 16 games 3 times. He played 2014 was his last year with the Eagles. He played 8 games. 2012, 8 games. His rookie year, 4 games. 2009, 11 games. So he does have 2 receptions for 3 yards in his career, though, and 2 touchdowns.
Brandon Brooks has only missed 2 regular season games with the Eagles.
And he's an All-Pro.
And he's freaking phenomenal.
And he heals like a superhuman.
Yo, legit, like.
He heals like no, he doesn't have an All-Pro. I'm sorry. He has 3 Pro Bowls. But he has not. He missed 2 games in 2016 with the Eagles. That was it. Since then, he's played all 16 games every single year since.
He has missed back-to-back playoff games, though.
Yeah, he's missed playoff games because of his Achilles, and other injuries. It's Brandon Brooks with Herman's close second, but that's Brandon Brooks. Next, number 81. Who wears it right now?
Wouldn't be up for discussion.
Who wears it right now?
Josh Perkins.
Yes. Before him, Kamar Aiken. Before him.
Forgot about Aiken. Jordan Matthews.
Before him.
We're not Owens yet, right?
Nope.
Who wore before Matthews? Oh, Jason Avant.
Jason Avant. Before him.
Owens.
And then just looking at the other names in the year, you got Mike Bellamy. Really no one else other than it's T.O. It's not even close.
I'm very bitter that T.O. in Philly was ruined by that stupidity. I'm just gonna leave it there.
T.O. number 81, best 81 in Eagles history.
And T.O. was the last to cover ESPN's NFL 2K5. The best football game.
That's right. So number 83, Shelton Gilson wears it right now. He did not wear it in a game for the Eagles yet. But Josh Perkins had 83 also.
Okay.
Before him, Marvin McNutt. Before him, Greg Lewis.
Oh, Greg. Wow.
Yeah. Mr. Wide Receiver Coach, Greg Lewis.
He's a wide receiver coach in Kansas City, right?
Yeah. Jeff Thomason, Troy Smith, Dietrich Gels, Michael Timpson, Ed West, Michael Young, Pat Beach, Kevin Baldwin, Jimmy Gills, Kenny Jackson, Phil Smith, Tony Woodruff, Rodney Parker, Vince Papale.
Ooh, Mr. Invincible.
Mr. Mark Wahlberg. So what are we doing here?
I mean, you gotta love the story of Vince Papale. But
again, yeah, I mean he only caught 1 pass in his 3 years. He played 41 games. I mean, I know he was a special teams guy, but he only caught one pass in 41 games.
Did you just mid-chuckle?
Marky Mark.
Just go to 84.
NA. I'll give it to Greg Lewis. Greg Lewis is okay.
He was consistent during his time. And,
Like Greg Lewis, he spent 6 years with the Eagles. 127 receptions, 1,699 yards, 7 touchdowns. Congrats. Best 83 in Eagles history. 84.
So we have Greg Ward Jr., who was the savior of last season.
Mm-hmm. Before him, Jordan Norwood. Before him, Hank Baskett.
Oh,
Before him,
I
I'll
don't
give
know.
you a hint.
The hell are you doing with your fingers?
I'll give you another hint. Thank you. I'm thanking my hands. Who else thanked their hands?
Oh, Freddie Mitchell.
Freddie Mitchell, stupid.
Terrible. It's been a very long day.
But then you got Mark Bavaro. Other than that, no one of really any.
What was Freddie Mitchell's numbers in Philly?
Well, Mark Bavaro spent 2 years with the Eagles, so he's out. Freddie Mitchell spent 4 years with the Eagles.
1,200.
90 receptions, 1,263 yards, 5 touchdowns.
I got a comment to make, but I don't want to make it.
Make it.
I understand 4th and 26 was such a phenomenal play in Eagles history. But would you consider Freddie Mitchell a big part of Eagles history because of it?
No. Freddie Mitchell.
You want to laugh so bad, 'cause you know I'm holding back from saying what I want to say.
Freddie Mitchell is such a hack. But like you look at Hank Baskett though, 5 years, 72 receptions for 1,052 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Mitchell had better numbers.
I'm gonna go with Hank Baskett.
Just because.
Yeah, why not? 85 is Alex Ellis right now, and before him was James Casey and Art Monk, played for the Eagles. He wore 85. He played 1 year with the Eagles. After 14 years with the Redskins and 1 year with the Jets. Like so many random people just played with random ass teams.
Yeah.
Like Jaworski, he ended his year in Kansas City. No, sorry, Miami.
That's like Cunningham. After us, he ended up in Dallas.
Yep. You got Namath. Kansas City. Gonna have Brady on the Bucks. You're gonna have Nick Foles on the Bears. You're gonna have Jordan Matthews somewhere.
What?
All these legends.
These legends. You should have stopped. What 86, man?
86. I mean, is there a debate?
No, I'm putting out Zach Ertz is a living legend.
Zach Ertz. There's no one even close to being what Zach Ertz is. It's
not debatable. As much as
88.
So we have Dallas got it right now.
Mm-hmm. Before him,
wasn't Trey Burton's original number 88?
Trey Burton, Jeff Malley, Cornelius Ingram, Mike Bartram, Keith Jackson, Jimmy Johnson. I don't know. Keith Jackson played 4 years with the Eagles. He had 3 All-Pros with the Eagles out of his 4 years. He caught 242 passes for 2,756 yards, 20 touchdowns.
Sound like it's him. I was gonna say Burton because of Philly Special, but Burton didn't really have numbers. He didn't really do much outside of Philly Special.
Has to be Keith Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at career-wise, Goddard actually had a very low-key, under-the-radar, very good and productive season last year. I think it's 607 yards, 58 receptions. I think.
Okay, but that doesn't put him over Keith
I
Jackson.
know, but just saying, I'm just putting that out there.
And finally, number 89.
Greg Ward, more.
Well, right now it's Marcus Green. Before him, B.J. Cunningham, Garrett Mills, Martin Rucker, Matt Scoble, Kasim. Sorry, I'm tired. Kasim Cinceno, Justin Swift, Ed Smith, Ron Lashinsky, Chad Lewis.
Oh, Chad
Lewis. Also, owner of number 89 is Mike Ditka. Did you know he played for the Eagles?
I did not.
2 years. 2 years, 39 receptions for 385 yards. Has to be Chad Lewis. Chad Lewis, he was like when he was on. Chad Lewis was Zach Ertz before Zach Ertz. Without the numbers. Like I get Chad Lewis did not have the numbers Zach Ertz has, but Chad Lewis was good. He averaged for his career with the Eagles 9 years, 10.3 yards per reception, 23 touchdowns in 110 games, 2,349 yards. Zach Ertz gets that in a season and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But he had 3 Pro Bowls with the Eagles.
So is that everybody on the offensive side?
Chad Lewis. Yeah, that's everybody. I mean, we're looking at the 90s. We're looking at the 30s now, and the 20s, 40s, 50s. It's all defense. I mean, we could do a little bit of quick special teamers.
No.
Number 1, Cameron Johnston.
Who was on before him?
Cody Parkey.
That's a
Double doink. And before him, Matt McBriar, Gary Anderson. Gary Anderson had a long tenure in the league. He played 23 years. But he only played 2 seasons with the Eagles. It's Iron Leg Cameron Johnston already. And then you're looking at
number
4.
Jake Elliott.
Before him?
I don't know if there's anybody after Kevin Cobb that wore 4.
Stephen Morris.
Okay.
Kevin Cobb, Mike McMahon, Tom Hutton, Brian Barker, Dale Dawson, David Jacobs, Max Reniger, and Benji Dial. So who is the best number 4 in Eagles history? This is something. Because Mike McMahon played 1 year with the Eagles. He went 2-5 in 2005.
Wasn't Kevin Cobb supposed to be the second coming?
Kevin Cobb
moving to Arizona
is the owner of all my hatred that I had for the Eagles between 2007 and 2010. Because when they drafted him, I was very confused. They drafted him in the second round of 2007, 2 years before McNabb was gone. But it's like, again, you want to question the Jalen Hurts move? Kevin Cobb was even much larger question mark. Cause why? Why?
They're trying to establish the QB factory before.
The QB factory. Yeah, it was like oh my god, like Kevin Cobb, and then McNabb gets benched against the Ravens, and he throws the worst pick six in history of the NFL. Like he lobs it up against the Ravens, and he lobs it up in the back of the end zone, and Ed Reed catches it like with this much space in between the field and the out of bounds, and he takes it 109 yards. Longest interception return for a touchdown in NFL history. Kevin Cobb had 4 years with the Eagles, 7 starts, 3-4, 60% completion rate, 2,082 yards, 11 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. He averaged 109.6 yards per game. 109. Like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna. 2007. No, 2007 NFL draft results right now. I'm looking it up because I want to see who was available. This is Jamarcus Russell year.
Oh,
He went number 1 overall. The Eagles did not have a first round pick. Not that I can see. So the first pick in the entire draft was Kevin Cobb. So QBs that went after Kevin Cobb. Well, the pick right after Kevin Cobb was Eric Weddle. Then you got Drew Stanton was the next quarterback. Then you got people like Sidney Rice. You got people like Lamar Woodley. Oh my God. Ryan Khalil, who's a generational center. He just retired. Oh my God! And I get that, you know, hindsight's 2020 and all that shit. And then they drafted Tony Hunt. Oh my God! Stuart Bradley was a good pick in that draft. Stuart Bradley was a good pick. But you look, that entire draft, 2007. Oh my God! How C.J. Gaddis, who never played it down in the NFL. Brent Selleck was out of that draft. He was okay, I guess. Rashad Barksdale. Nate Ilaioa. Oh my God, what a draft. 2007
was your favorite draft? Is what you're telling
2007, I graduated high school and the Eagles have the worst draft in history. Whew. Anyways.
So we covered offense and special teams.
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, so everybody listening, you know what? I have a nose for these things. And speaking of noses, we didn't do this yet. We pardoned the interruption right before we end the podcast for a word from our sponsor. Manscaped came out with the Weed Whacker. This is called the Weed Whacker. And I'm telling you, like, if you thought your balls hairs were out of control, just look in the mirror. Just look in the mirror and just look in your nose. Like, I admit it. I'll admit it. My nose hair's out of control sometimes. I was blessed with really bad nose hairs. But look at this thing. Listen to it. Look at the light.
Waterproof as well.
Goes waterproof, and right here.
What's last time?
You hear it was already clogged because of how much nose hairs.
Makes it work. No hesitation.
Yeah, like, this shit is legit. Like, as soon as I heard that this was coming out, I was so excited because I will admit sometimes I'm trying to pluck it because it's just like it tickles my nose sometimes. I'm like this. I'm like, okay, what? I'm like, okay, there's one hanging out right here, so I got to, But this is legit right here. It's called the Weed Whacker. So you got the lawnmower for your lawn downstairs, and you got the Weed Whacker for the weeds in here. Just take care of yourself. Now things are opening up. You're gonna have to go back in public soon. Mm-hmm. Make sure everything looks good.
And just to clarify, I understand that you're going to find Manscaped products in retail locations, but in retail locations, you will not receive 20% off.
No.
Like if you go to manscaped.com, put code FTV, and you'll get 20% off. So Flippin' the Birds, for the balls, for the boys, whatever you want to reference it as, just use the code manscaped.com, get 20% off, and your nose hairs will not sound like Chris's when you put the machine in there. It sounds like a civil war in there, bro.
There's shit going on in there. Maybe I should get it checked out. I don't know. But anyways, we know this. We know this podcast is different, and we appreciate it if you listen to all of it. But it's we got some things happening. I don't know. We've been saying that for weeks now, but things take time. Mm-hmm. But with training camp pretty much around the corner, like the content's gonna be better. not that this is not that good. I mean, we just reminded you of really bad players who wear some of these numbers.
We spiked up your blood pressure.
Yeah. So, yeah, we do have some guests lined up in the next coming weeks. We don't want to say them yet because we don't want to jinx ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to have someone today, but he never texted me back, so a little salty about that. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed our number breakdown. We hope you had a great 6-9. And we look forward to episode 42 with him.
Yes, sir. So, guys, don't forget, tune into next week's podcast for Flipping the Bird Tuesdays. Leave us your feedback, good or bad. We take it all. And until next time.
Go Birds.
Yes, sir.